For my project, I decided to use a dataset on life expectancy and density of healthcare professionals per country. I began my design process by using Tableau. Then I used the 10+10 method to settle on a scatterplot matrix for my visualization. I implemented 3 variations and experimented with interaction. I then refined until I achieved my final product. This is the final iteration of my visualization. I will now be walking you through the functionality of my project and discussing why I made the design choices that I did. When you scroll horizontally along the visualization, you can see scatter plots for the years 2000 to 2015. Along the left side of the visualization, there's a scale for physician density, nursing and midwifery density, dental personnel density, and pharmaceutical personnel density. Each has its own color scale with the lightest shade in each range representing null values. Upon mousing over a point, that point and the respective point in each scatter plot enlarges and the color reverses. I considered simply changing the color of the point in order to make the selected point stand out in each scatter plot. However, with so many colors already being used, it became difficult to find a color that stood out on each scatter plot. I also wanted to ensure that users could still tell what color the point was, even when selected, because this shows the density level for that country. This led me to the inversion of colors, using white on the inside and color as an outline. At first this didn't stand out very much, so I made the point larger as well, which helped make the point easier to spot. But I still felt that something was lacking. Finally, after experimenting with animations, I decided to add animation to the resizing of the points in my visualization, and I felt that this made each point that was selected stand out very clearly. When hovering on top of a point, a tooltip will appear that tells the user the country, the exact density value, and the life expectancy for the point they are hovering over. In order to select a point and keep it selected, a user can simply click on it. It will animate to become larger and its colors will revert, just like when they hover. However, after clicking the point, they can move their mouse away from it and the point will stay highlighted. To deselect a point, the user can simply click on it again. Users can select multiple points at once and compare what they have selected. I considered using many different interactions for this, including brushing, but I wanted users to be able to select individual points easily, rather than large groups of points. I also considered graying out all unselected points, but I felt it was essential that users were able to see the colors of all surrounding points. Since there are so many points being shown on the screen at one time, it was suggested I use a search bar so that users can select a country by searching the name of it. I wanted to ensure I made the points very obvious when searched, so I decided to animate them in a way that was very similar to the animation shown on hover. I decided to make the points even larger than they are when hovered in an effort to increase the visibility. If a point is unselected when a user searches for it, it will be filled in on animation. If it has already been selected when a user searches for it, it will be inverted on animation with white in the center and color on the outline. I also included a clear selection button so that users did not have to go through and deselect every point they'd chosen. I felt this would be very frustrating as a user to have to click so many points so many different times. Overall, I am happy with how my visualization turned out. I would have liked to make better use of the white space present in each graph. Because the life expectancy of most countries was above 50, there was a gap between the null values and the rest of the values. I didn't know how I could fill this space without skewing users' understanding of the data. I also did not like how my visualization required scrolling to view the entire thing. Due to the number of years I had in my dataset, I don't think there was a way around this. I tried making each scatter plot smaller, but this made it hard to see each individual point. In retrospect, I would use something similar to a stacked line graph so that I could show multiple years in one graph. Each line would represent one country, and on mouse over these details would be shown. One color would be used for each density range, similar to what I implemented. This way, life expectancy could be shown on the y-axis and year on the x-axis. Finally, I also would like to have spaced the points out. Some of them overlap quite a lot, making it hard to see the individual data points. I feel the space on my screen was used very efficiently. Aside from the white space in each graph, the rest of the screen real estate is used quite well. I also think that the colors I have chosen look nice together and are easy to differentiate from each other. Finally, I think the interactions I chose suit my visualization well, making the visualization more useful for a user. In the future, I would research more about making aesthetically pleasing visualizations so that I could attempt to make mine appear more artistic. Overall, I'm very happy with my final product, and I learned so much throughout the process. Thank you for watching.